Hey, hope everyone's having a good day. I still can't get my Lotus to work. I've gone through so many things. It's in the background right there. I got a 2006 Lotus Elise with 7,000 miles on it, and has a forced fed, which is a discontinued company, that put a turbocharger on it with a 275 kit. What this was is it ran about 8 pounds of boost on a 2ZZ motor, which I'm currently running 10 pounds of boost on my 2ZZ motor in my MR2 that I built. I did not build this car, I bought this car. When I bought this car, it came with a front wrecked clam, had a clean title on it. The guy never had insurance, they never reported it. So I bought it with a clean title, put a new front clam on it, an EXIGE front clam, which you guys follow the whole build. Absolutely fun. It's been so fun to build it. I've done so many things on it. Now is the time to finally start doing the smaller things and enjoy the car. And unfortunately, I can't enjoy the car. It's just sitting outside. And the reason why is I don't know. So I'm gonna go and I'm kind of reaching out to guys, see if you have some ideas. And I'm gonna tell you everything that I have done. I haven't filmed it because I kind of just wanted this car to run. And then when I film my how-tos, I like to show you guys how I've done it and how it the positive outcome. I don't want to show you fixing something and putting it on YouTube and then it not working. I think it's kind of like a waste of your time. So I didn't want to do that for you guys. So I'm going to tell you everything that's happened so far and where I'm at. So on this car, I drove it pretty hard about a month ago. Went all the way to Red Line a couple times, shot some flames, had some good times with it. The car got rained on because where I live it rains. And then I went to drive it to go get some coffee a while ago, to go get some coffee. And it died at a stoplight. And they have push to start buttons. I hit the push to start button and it did not really want to start up. It finally started up, and then I brought it into a parking lot and it just wouldn't start again. So I ended up buying new plugs and got the car started again and changed the plugs in a parking lot. Was able to limp it home, and I mean limp it home. I think I put it in second gear and I couldn't shift gears or the car would die, and I limped it home and finally got it back here. Since then, the car does not really want to start. It actually won't start. It'll crank. Injectors will turn on. I can hear them. I can smell gas. But it's not, what I've kind of come to the final conclusion is it's not sparking. So I want to go over everything that I've done and all my fixes that I've figured out, try to do. So I'll start with the big ones. So one of the big ones that I did was I checked all the fuses in the engine bay and they're fine. All the fuses are in the engine bay are fine. The fuses up front, there is one that keeps blowing and it's one of the headlights. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but I might unplug the headlights to see if that'll fix. I haven't tried that yet. The other thing that I've done is I've checked all the fuses. I looked at the interior fuses. I looked at the rear fuses. I did a compression test. They all came back at like 170-ish. One was 165. It's not that big a difference. Keep in mind that I have a small little battery on there. It should be like 180 compression, but I have a small little battery and the 2ZZ is cold. So I'm not expecting it to do 180. If I went and warmed up my MR2, drove it around, brought it back, and then did a compression test on it, I bet it'd be like 185 across the board, or maybe even 200 across the board. But none of the cylinders are off. And then when I finally did have it start up, smoke did come out of it, but the smoke was, I think, raw gas being burnt. I think that's what that was. I don't think it has to do anything with the combustion of the engine because it has level compression test across it. So I think it has to do 100% with the electrical. So I ended up putting, the turbos come with these copper plugs. They're like $6. I put all those in there. They didn't work. And then I put, I think I put like iridium ones in there just to see if that would help, maybe kick it over. It didn't help. I swapped all the coil packs out with my MR2. I actually did it with my CELICA that I sold. Yeah, this has been, man, this issue's been for like 2 months now that I can't get this car run. I put the old coil packs off, took those on, I put the new ones on, didn't do anything. I covered them in lithium grease because people were saying, or dielectro grease or whatever it was. dielectric grease because they could be arcing, and that's why it's not firing. I covered those, did not help. The other thing is in the back, there's an inertia switch, a crash button. I pushed that. It was not pushed, so I did push it and it clicked. Still did not start the car. I ordered an MFRU, which is a multi-function relay unit from Lotus. Hundreds and hundreds of bucks. I actually think I got it from Monkey Wrench. And got it here, unplugged the old one. Again, 7,000 miles, not that old. Put the new one on there. Did not fix it. Car still does not start. That's what people are saying. It totally could be that. I was like praying it was that. It wasn't. I bought a new O2 sensor. Then I had already cleaned underneath this entire car, but I just forgot. The force fed does not have a O2 on it. Isn't that funny? So there's no O2 on it. Yeah, so the car does not have an O2 from force fed. I didn't know that, but I bought a new one. I thought maybe it was, I burnt the O2 out and it wouldn't heat up and it couldn't read, and so then the ECU is all wrong. And I don't even know what ECU is on this car. I don't know what, it's called a Lotus Sport ECU, but I think it's retuned by force fed by a company that's out of business. So kind of having some trouble with it. Now, there are a lot of people on Lotus Talk who own this same setup. I'd say like 5, maybe 10 people, so I guess not a lot, but there are people that own this same setup, and they seem to have good results. I mean, their cars are still running, you know, 20, 30,000 miles with the setup on there. I did read though that ForceFed did blow up a couple of them, but when ForceFed wrote back to it, like one of them, the guy kept on over revving it. That's not ForceFed's fault. That's he over revved a 2ZZ. They blow up when you go to 9,000 or 10,000 RPMs. And then I did read another one. I think someone like tuned it wrong or something. I don't know. But none of them seemed like it was the ForceFed, especially since the car is only at 275. That's not that crazy amount at all. Like 2ZZs with a BOE supercharger run 300 all the time. So it's not pushing too much power in my opinion. So I don't think it blew up. I really don't think it did. The other thing that I did, I think I already told you guys this, I actually took the fuel oil off and turned the car on and drained all the entire fuel out of the entire fuel tank into a tub, got rid of it, and took the injectors, spent $100 to get them cleaned and tested if they hold pressure. They are clean, they flow at 600 cc's, they're perfect, they're RCs. The injectors are great. Nothing to do with the injectors. So the next thing that I've done currently, kind of, where I'm currently at, is I kind of wanted to remember like when did this start happening, why did this start happening? And what it was, is this car came with this thing called snake oil. And not coil, but snake oil. And snake oil was aftermarket blue grounding cables. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I put a new radio in this, and I got rid of all that crap. I hate that stuff. I got rid of all of it. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was for the sound system because the person had an amp in there that I sold the amps, I removed the amps. The person that owned the car before had aftermarket speakers, and I removed those. I kind of just want, I don't really care for speaker stuff. I like OEM-esque on that, and I do like power and handling the cars, but I don't really care for music stuff. So I got rid of all that stuff. Well, I removed most of that when I was working on the interior, and those blue coil wires ran through the entire car, I'll tell you that, all the way up to where the speakers were. Well, I thought that grounding was only for the speakers. Turns out that many people had these they're blue colored, but they're called snake oil, and what it was is blue grounding wires. And I guess they were popular on the turboed and forced induction Lotuses, which is actually... So I had this car absolutely mint the other, like, I don't know, a month ago. It was perfect. And then I ripped the whole thing up. I actually removed both seats. That one's just sitting there. Here is where the immobilizer was. You guys can see I did the immobilizer trick. I cut the wires, I spliced those together. It works, the immobilizer is defeated. It's not there anymore. But I'm gonna actually grab a light real quick. Okay, we are behind the driver's seat, just for some continuity. This is what I'm talking about. So there's the blue snake oil, not coil, I don't know why it's called snake oil, wire. That ran all the way up into here, and there it is. I cut it, and it ran down through here. It ran through this, the center of the car, and then all the way up, and it actually ran up into the front of the car. I think it did. I removed all that because it was connected to the wires of the radio. So I was like, oh man, I don't need to have that. I took away the stereo. I don't want the stereo anymore. So I cut that out, and that actually ran to the 2ZZ and ran to the battery. They're all connected to the battery. The other one is this aftermarket. Look at the clear one. You guys see that? So here's the clear one. Is that, please? That looks Lotus to me. And I cut that because I thought, again, that was to part of the radio. So I might not have a ground there, which I could have hopefully not fried the ECU, but I'm okay if I fried the ECU because then I can figure out how to fix the car. But please, 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 is your car look like this? Does anyone else's car look like this? Let me know. I need some help. And then that should run. That one actually runs. I'll show you where that runs into the back of the car real quick. So I did some real work back here, and I don't know if I messed up or not, but I'm assuming this is that small battery that I used. Again, it ran for a while with it, but we're in the component here. Now currently all I have is this factory. This is factory right here. This is from Lotus, this setup right here, but I don't know if they cut into this or not. And then here again, this is factory. This is that negative that runs back through here into this one wire, into that one wire. You guys see that right there? Now look, here is that cord. And that cord's back there, the same color. And that's not the blue one, that's that whitish one, the silver whitish one. And it runs through here, and then it runs all the way back up into the firewall. And I actually removed the deck lid just now. And then there's also a ground on the firewall down there, and I'm not sure, you know, maybe the 2ZZ is just not properly grounded, and that's why it's not running, and that's why it's not creating spark. But this is where I'm at, and I really need some help. So if someone can help me, that'd be awesome. I think it's a wire issue. I'm pretty sure it's a ground issue. But what I'm gonna do next in the future, soon here, probably next video, is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create some, I'm gonna get a new bigger battery. I'm gonna do another ground from here into the chassis. I'm gonna wire it down where it was on that one. And then I'm also going to do a ground from the engine to, from the engine, the 2ZZ down onto the firewall as well, and maybe that'll help it. I do think that there was also a ground from the back, this back wall down here with another blue snake oil right here, that snake oil wire, and I think that one ran onto the battery as well. So I just wish I would have took a photo of it, but when I removed this right here, I unhooked this, and there was like, to the ground side, there was like, I can't even tell you. I would say there was so many things that were connected to this that I thought all had to deal with the with 100% with that extra radio, but maybe not. So maybe I messed up and the 2ZZ is not grounded enough. So I'm assuming it's something to do with these grounds, and I hope that this helps. If you guys can comment down below, Mitch, that solid one is from factory and not aftermarket, that would be super helpful. And then I can know if I should connect that to the ground of the battery or the earth of the battery or whatever, the negative, the one in the chassis that I just showed you. And then if I should connect another one from the 2ZZ to the firewall or another one from the 2ZZ to the battery. And then I think it's probably a good idea just to get a larger battery. I think it's just a better idea, more reliable. Those little batteries suck. So, yeah, battery got filled there. That's where I'm at. Still have not figured this out. I think it's one of the ground wires. I hope the ground wire fixed. If anyone has pictures of where that is in there, is that factory or is that not factory? Am I missing an extra ground? Does the turboed car or the forced induction, the superchargers have extra grounds, and that's what I removed, and that's now why the car doesn't work. If you have any information for that, please help me. Other than that, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna do a giveaway real quick. I have this left over from my Tsunami car. This is the exhaust tip. I don't know if anyone wants this. It's cool, I guess. It's a metal exhaust. If you want it, comment down below. Mitch fixed the Lotus. And if I see those, and then go to my Instagram and go to my Instagram post and write the same thing, Mitch fixed the Lotus. If I see someone on there that writes that, or a couple people on there that writes that, I'll mail this out to you. I'll just ask for your address and I'll give it to you. Again, make sure to like button, subscribe. I hope this works. And then the big thing is comment down below if you guys have ideas that you think would fix this setup. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next video.